Oh, we're live on the internet. Guys, Bitcoin and crypto recovering a bit over the weekend. Nice to see. In this video, we're going to discuss the charts, looking at where the opportunity and the danger lies, because we're not out of the woods yet, guys. It would be to be out of the woods. Woods is a scary place. We're going to talk about that, okay? Let's dive straight into it. Answering your questions second half of the stream. Probably a bunch throughout the stream as well, as we always do, you know. But, hey. Jesse, what's up, man? Eat some sauerkraut for us. Anyway, continuing. Let's go. So, intern, I thought you owned Bitcoin. What the hell is Harry Potter Abomic Sonic in you? The vibes right now, guys. The vibes. President Trump says no when asked if China tariffs will stand. The taco trade. Do not fade the taco trade, guys. It's all just negotiating tactics, and it cause mass confusion, as much bluster and crazy as he can, and then just make some generally fine deal at the end of the day, huh? The VIX corrected heavily from 29 all the way down to 20 on Friday. Currently green. Let's see it hopefully correct some more down pretty soon. That's a volatility indicator. Of course, when that thing spikes, usually we get into trouble in the markets, okay? S&P 500 mini futures right now, green for the day, but not as green as they were earlier today. I think we got up to about 0.4% plus. Currently only 0.2% plus. Oh no, the end of the world. Anyway, Subu traded this one. This is uncommon. On Friday morning, the VIX jumped above 28, while the S&P 500 was within 3% of an all-time high. This also happened during 1999 and 2020-21 melt-ups. In those situations, prices were usually dramatically higher a few months later. Okay, just FYI. Still a lot of juice left in the market. Okay. What up, Mel? Hello from Perth. Perth. I always want to go to Perth and see the quokkas. You know that? Born and raised Christchurch, New Zealand. Christchurch is great. My buddy lived in Christchurch quite a few years. I like Auckland more. Lived in Wellington for a few years. So, by the way, I see, Mel, you're not going to miss it, but I see that New Zealand today is getting 130-kilometer gusts all across the South Island, right up into Wellington. Things I do not miss about Wellington, right there. Anyway, continuing. Serious stuff here, guys. Not talking about the weather in New Zealand. Anyway. Well, that's encouraging. I like that. Will from Crypto Insight UK. Shout out, Will. We got to have a coffee again sometime soon, man. Seeing this chart make the rounds. Gold tops 2020. Immediately after, Bitcoin goes on an absolutely epic face-melting rip. Are we seeing something similar playing out now? Could be. Could be. Look, has gold definitively topped? We need a little more confirmation for that. Is it wildly overbought? Yeah. Yes, it sure is, man. Yeah, it's look, I'm not saying gold can't run a bit farther. It certainly can, but it's getting pretty wacky out there, man. So let's see if gold can take a breather and Bitcoin can catch some of the bid there. This is very interesting. I'm posting with Mr. Anderson. This is Bitcoin versus gold on the monthly scale. What do you think happens next? Yes, the breakout is going to be mental. Okay. 1 BTC will be worth 60 to 80 ounces of gold at the peak, man. You watch. That's crazy. Let's see. By the way, I like gold. I like gold. It's interesting, man. It's cool to hold these little pieces of metal in your hand. It's fun, but I don't know. Nostalgia from my brain as a kid, dreaming about finding gold treasure and shit. I love it. It's great. I love, looking at these little piece of metal. I love my silver, man. My silver is great. I am not a buyer of either of those here. I'm not saying they cannot go higher, but I feel like the risk reward to buying them now is very, very limited compared to where it's probably going to be in 2 or 3 years, for example. Continuing. Swiss block with this one. BTC liquidity is rising again for the first time since July. Pay attention, okay? Capital is re-entering the system and it's flowing into Bitcoin. Historically, the setup has preceded both major breakouts and the onset of altcoin impulses, I like to call them. Don't like to use the word altcoin season anymore. I feel like it's cursed. It's because they had altcoin impulses. Short at your own discretion, says Swiss block. Dig it. Dig it, dig it, dig it. It's very interesting, isn't it? Let's see how much meat of the move here we can catch in this impulse. Lark on the road to recovery. He'll be dishing the iron side wheelchair soon. Yeah, I'm doing pretty good, man. Doing pretty good. Definitely getting a whole lot better. But yeah, still sitting down for streams. They give it a few more days. Try and take it easy. Figure the easier I take it, the quicker we'll recover. This is a great one from Decode Jar. Perfect tap at the 2 standard deviations below the mean. Think about how, you know, people out here rushing to the cycle's over, man. I do not think the cycle's over, okay? Far from it. Look, we had a big move back in late 2024, early 25. I still think we go right up here to the top of this range before we finish up the cycle, okay? McKenna here, BTC completely reset on that move down. 26% of aggregated open interest wiped out. Price bled towards the wick lows, basically at the 1 week 50 simple moving average. Trump announced 100% tariffs when it happened. Every day on social media screaming the cycle is over. Bitcoin's macro asset will behave as such. I'll put 80% probability of that being a Pico bottom or very close to it. Amen to that. Bitcoin did have a nice rally after this move down here over the weekend. So we got down to, basically during last week's stream or very shortly thereafter, or just before, somewhere around there, we got down to this low here at $103,720. We have since retaken the 20-day EMA. Now, the immediate concerns, we're not doing this on a lot of volume, okay? So that is something that would be nice to see a little more conviction for the market, a little more volume coming in, okay? So let's keep an eye on it. Right now, we have the RSI moving towards potential momentum shift with the RSI moving above the yellow control line. MACD moving towards a bullish crossover. 2 things to watch out for here. 1, we need to continue to defend the 200-day EMA. It's at $108,000 right now, which is also a critical historical price level for support. So a quick deviation under is fine. Like I was saying on Friday, quick deviation under, fine. What you don't want to see happen is price starting to get accepted down under the 200-day EMA. That's when you start getting into trouble, okay? Now, next target up, 20-day EMA, $113,000, okay? So on this current move up, I can see the price stalling here at $113,000, which is only a few $1,000s above where we are currently. That would be tricky, okay? Because now things then start to get dicey, because what do you have? Okay, low, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. And then if we have a 200-day EMA retest, that's when people start to worry, because then they're going to think, well, we're going to go for the next lower low. So what we want to see, ideally, a decisive takeout of the 20-day EMA. And really, the big line in the sand here to say, okay, we are so effing back with multiple confirmations, is the price getting above $115,500, because that would then kind of invalidate this move as a downtrend starting, right? Invalidate the downtrend and potentially bring us up for a reshift back to the upside, okay? So that's what I want to see right now from Bitcoin over the next few days. And of course, if we do get up to 115,000, that likely coincides with the MACD and RSI crossover here as well, okay? On the weekly, this has been a very, very critical range. You can see back here, resistance, 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 support, support, now acting as support once again. One other thing to point out here is that on the weekly, price right now is sitting just below the 20-week EMA. Critical line. Got to get back above that by the end of this week. Okay, that's where we want to see the price by the end of the week. Even if it's just a little bit of a limp over top, I want to see us back up over there. That would be constructive, let's say. Okay, all right. Continue, and then we'll get into. Let's do a quick shout out, of course, here to the guys over at BitUnix. Now, I got stopped out of my Bitcoin trade on Friday. It was just a small trade, small stop loss. It's fine, not a big deal. The Solana trade is still open. Didn't take any trades the weekend. I was like, you know what? I got stopped out twice in 24 hours. I said, I'm just going to take the weekend off. And of course, everything pumps over the weekend instead of just making a third roll of the dice, man. Just anyway, it's fine. We'll get back into a trade as soon as we see some nice confirmations for me up here. Ideally, trading in strength when we get back over the 20-day EMAs for these assets. If you want to join me trading over in BitUnix, it's literally never been a better time to sign up. They have insane deals going on right now. Look at this. If you deposit $2,000, $400 back. You deposit $10,000, you get $700 back. That's cash money, man. That's wild. Crazy trading bonuses, and we're giving away $1,000 every live stream. Today's live stream, we're giving away $1,000 to anybody who signed up. Okay, so currently have 2,682 people signed up here. We asked Grok. Grok grokked it for about 1 minute and 40 seconds. We have our 2 winners here. Again, we're not doing these during live streams because it takes Grok too gosh darn long to think sometimes. Here we go. Here. Yep. 1 of 3. That's interesting. I think they repeated a couple. Anyway, besides the point, this guy's got $500 coming his way. Fantastic. Right here. And we got one more winner here. So that's 912-747-127. And the other one here is this guy right here with 281-276-154. $500 coming your way as well. Okay, I'm just gonna make a quick note here. Got to double check that list later and make sure we got all the right entries in there. Okay, there we go. Perfect. Continuing. So, congratulations to today's winners. Come back tomorrow. We'll give away another $1,000. Let's do it. So, guys, check this one out. Open interest has 2025 low, nears extreme fear, selling potential, signaling potential, selling exhaustion, according to crypto quant analyst, analyst, not an analyst. Anyway, different professions. Down near the extreme fear levels tends to be areas where, well, there's opportunity. Let's just say that, okay? Solar Ether Punk says, I wouldn't fade Tom Lee's quant Mark Newton. He's been incredible on short-term market predictions the last 5 years, as long as geopolitical is calm. ETH runs hard from here to 5,500 into early November. Sideways consolidate, sell off until mid-November, then 8K at the end of the year. This is the kind of bullish propaganda I come to social media for. Fantastic. Let's go. Tom Lee's quant. Let's get it. ETH right now, critical level. So, very interesting. Now, look, we defended the 200-day EMA for an epic retest here the other day. We are looking currently at an RSI control line potential breakout forming up, just limping over the yellow line here. MACD heading towards a bullish crossover. Now, critical level, much like we were talking like with Bitcoin, 20-day EMA only $100 overhead here. Take out the 20-day EMA. We're looking at a potential momentum shift. Okay. This is true, MJ. Tom Lee has been relentlessly, wildly bull posting ETH. I get it. That's a good point to make. But his trader quant dude has been a little more accurate on the short-term signals beyond Tom Lee's just relentless bull posting for Bitmine to go to the moon, essentially. Different story. So 20-day EMA looms overhead. Now, if you're going to get rejected anywhere, it's going to be on a 20-day EMA underside retest right here, right? Where we just landed today. Let's see. The breakout momentum comes when ETH gets over the 20-day EMA, so over $4,100 for a daily close. Then we might be looking at a new uptrend starting here on Ethereum after all this wild, crazy shit happened last couple weeks, okay? ETH on the weekly. Look at this. Beautiful chart. Beautiful chart, man. Retest the major downtrend line, multi-year downtrend line, 20-week EMA bounce and retest, okay? So we had this epic move up, grind down to the 20-week EMA, bounce here, and we're Gucci, okay? MACD on the weekly is under a bearish crossover, though, which is not fantastic. So you really want to see this $3,800 level continuing to hold as price support to confirm that momentum's heading in the right direction here for Ethereum, okay? Satoshi Flipper. When John speaks, you sit up and listen. This is in response to John Bollinger, the literal dude who made the Bollinger Bands, okay? That guy, okay? Lark, probably a dead count, bounce to 110, 112K, and crashed into 90K. Top is in. I sold 80% of my portfolio today. Congratulations, Potato. Congratulations. I hope you sold a nice profits, okay? and I appreciate your conviction. So like I said, now we are entering, there's always these dangers on market recoveries, right? Where you need to see the confirmations come through, because all we have so far is a lot of more underside retests of key EMAs and stuff like that. So I think there's a lot of stuff building up for a very strong bull case, and the volumes currently are lacking, which is not great. Okay. There's never anything wrong with taking profits. There's never anything wrong with taking profits. Okay. Especially to help you sleep at night. Nobody has a crystal ball. The only one thing we know for sure is if you lock in profits, you're not going to go broke. That's great, isn't it? All right. Awesome. Continuing. Thank you for sharing. So potential W bottoms and Bollinger bands for ETH and Solana, but not for Bitcoin. Gonna be time to pay attention soon. Now, the last time, John doesn't post shit like this all the time, okay? Gotta understand. The little dude who made the Bollinger bands, he doesn't post this kind of stuff all the time. When he does, usually, not always, usually, it's an interesting signal, because I think last time he posted a W bottom forming up for Bitcoin, it absolutely ripped after. The last time I posted a W bottom forming up for ETH, it ripped massively after. So fade John Bollinger at your peril, guys. Solana, speaking of W's, potential W forming up here for Solana as well. This is, of course, he's talking about the Bollinger bands here, but we're just taking a look here at the simple price here as well. Potential nice double bottom forming up here. So let's see how this plays out. Again, we have potential momentum shift with the RSI coming here, much like looking very, very similar in a lot of ways to the Ethereum chart, a little bit lagging behind in terms of getting up to the 20-day EMA, which you can see is right here at around $200. So price has got back above the 200-day EMA, purple line on the chart. That's good. We like that. Now we need to get back over the 20-day EMA. So this is the bull bear line. This is like the oh shit line. We're just right on top of the oh shit line right now. Okay. Now we need to actually get something more constructive going on, get the EMAs flipped back in the right direction, get back over the 20-day EMA and see some actual trend buildup. Easier said than done. Remember, a massive amount of damage was done in the market 2 weeks ago. Okay. Some coins literally went to effing zero. Massive trauma happened. May not be so easy to immediately recover from that. Okay. I have no problem with it taking time and it's slowly grinding up. That's fine. The question is whether we are in for more massive trauma in the near future. Crypto always seems to find its way of doing that to us, doesn't it? Anyway, interesting thought here as well. So this is Solana all the way back to March. What essentially do we have? Higher high, higher low. Higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low so far, okay? And we've bounced off the 50-week EMA here. Bullish, fine, not a problem. And now we're just sitting below here at the 20-week EMA. So we need to see the 20-week EMA getting recovered, okay? That's around $195. Let's say a $200 close is gonna get us nice and back above that, okay? That's what I want to see here for Solana nice and constructive. Because Solana also very problematically weekly MACD bearish fucking crossover. Not great. Okay. So this is the thing. On any market recovery, there's a lot of fear. Obviously, bad shit just happened, right? A lot of things on the charts that I like, especially on the daily charts. On the weekly charts, the situation gets a little more problematic with RSI is not showing momentum breakouts yet, or the MACDs being basically showing momentum going in the wrong direction, et cetera, et cetera. Okay. So a tale of two time frames today, let's say. Interesting post here from DGen Gambler. Every cycle, the others does at least 5x from the previous all-time high. This cycle, it has not produced a new all-time high. In fact, sits 50% below. Of course, the others is all the coins outside of the top 10. There has been no serious altcoin impulse at this point. There's been some coins that have run. There's been very specific coins that have run in certain sectors, but that's been basically it. Outside of that, there's been no real broad momentum for altcoins in years. Small moves, 2024. We had like 3 weeks of altcoin impulse and then mega cuck land again. Thanks, Donald. Thanks, Melania. Really, it was Melania coin, wasn't it? Anyway. Pump Fun back to ICO price. I'm back slightly in the green on this one. My average entry price is kind of like right around here. That's where I bought I bought the majority of mine sort of like in this area down here. And then I've added smaller amounts on the way up all over the place here. So my actual average price is still pretty damn low because I bulk bought back here. But anyway, besides the point. Yeah, back to ICO price, man. Still doing insane daily revenues. What do we have going on down here? So we have potential momentum shift coming up here for Pump.fun. Again, these are daily charts here, right? So we see the MACD moving towards potential bullish crossover so deeply under the 0 line. That's an interesting spot because when you get momentum shift down here, got a lot of room to go back up. RSI, was I talking about the other day? Watch for the RSI to break out of this downtrend line. We did that here on Friday. Now we are also getting the yellow control line taken out. So the RSI is telling us a tale here right now that momentum is quietly shifting under the surface. Volumes have not picked up massively. Maybe we see accumulation going on by some big players here as we see decent volumes, but the RSI shifting momentum. MACD likely to catch up next in a few days, assuming price doesn't dramatically drop from here. Obviously, still in a bearish moment here, okay? Because we're under the 20-day EMA, we're under the 50-day EMA, okay? So that's something to keep in mind right now, all right? We need to take back out the 20-day EMA. That's at 0047 currently. Once we get back above that, we can start talking about building up a new uptrend that will probably end up looking something like that. Because when the Pump.fun team pump shit, they do not hold back. Pengu looking slightly more constructive today. Still a lot of work to do in terms of the MACD and the RSI. RSI hasn't even broken out in this one yet. Still under the 20-day EMA. Still my favorite meme coin bets for the cycle. Zcash, dude, Zcash had the retest. It's wild. We came all the way back down to the 20-day EMA for the retest. Like I was saying, guys, if a big Zcash bull, that's something to watch out for, okay? We got that retest. I did not buy any. I'm not sure I'm going to buy any Zcash, but keeping an eye on it, you know? Probably should have set a trade in there. Would have been an interesting trade take. It's been such a good coin. I should be trading this one. This is the coin I should be trading. Why am I not trading this coin? Anyway, besides the point. The MACD looks like it could be on the road to potentially recovering and hitting a new MACD upcross because it's really kind of flat now. It's not crashing down because the price is going up, right? Let's see. Let's see how it plays out. The next targets here, if you did catch this, move to the downside here, the 20-day EMA retest. Next target's 300 and then 400 bucks after that, which lines up with the next Fibonacci lines up. So something to keep an eye out for. On-chain lens, a multi-sig wallet linked with G, the founder of Ethena, has accumulated 48 million Ethena worth $20 million. Let's go. Founders buying back their coins is bullish. Boom. Ethena here at the 20-day EMA. Downtrend still not broken, but looking constructive. Now, if you're going to get rejected anywhere, it's there. Keep in mind, we have already been rejected once, twice, 3 times, 4 times at the 20-day EMA. Maybe you can consider that all one giant rejection here. But anyway, currently at 20-day EMA again. Now, the difference between these moves here and this one is that we have the MACD supporting us with momentum shift changing here back on Saturday. We got a bullish crossover, and we've had the RSI from Friday showing momentum picking up here as well with also, if you see here, this is the RSI downtrend. All the peaks here you can see. We had a breakout of the peaks here too. Now, it does not definitively mean everything's just going to go to the moon. We're at the 20-day EMA. It's a critical test point right now. Okay, but RSI and MACD are showing momentum is working more in the favor of bulls right now, even if volumes are not massive. They have picked up a bit relatively, if you can see here. I'll just put a big fat orange line across the top of this so you can have a better view of it. You can see how low the volumes were on the sell-off here. I mean, look at the 27th and 28th September, like absolutely shockingly low volumes. So the volumes have been much more elevated by comparison recently, but still not massive volumes, okay? So 20-day EMA breakout, that's around 50 cents. Daily close over 50 cents, and this thing could be off to the races again, okay? Stable up about 40 cents today. If you're looking for and I don't own this one, by the way, if you want to see my full portfolio disclosures, as always, there's a link down below in the description. Here, pinned comment over on X. There's also risk disclosure there because investing in crypto is risky. Past performance is not equated to future return. You can literally lose all of your money in a fucking instant like that. Why the fuck do we invest in this asset class? I should go buy index funds, man. What am I doing? For the love of the game, Lark. The love of the game. You love the pain. Anyway, besides the point. No, seriously, guys, crypto's crazy. In case you have not figured that shit out by now. Stable having a nice bounce back today. This is it probably, if you're looking for a good stable coin play, okay? This is a very interesting one. They have confirmed buybacks. They got all kinds of cool shit going on. We had a report on this in the newsletter, I think the other week. So very interesting one, stable. Obviously, the market currently is paying attention to it as well. Now, does that mean that it immediately goes straight back to the moon? No, we are obviously in a downtrend here, okay? So you can see downtrend. Keep putting in the lower highs, lower lows. But if we can break out of the downtrend, which is not that far away from a break, then things start to get pretty interesting. The tricky part is you have to get over 16.5 cents before the downtrend really breaks. It also coincides with the 20-day EMA, and that probably gears it up for the next move higher, assuming, of course, the broader market holds up for us. Now, buying at 16 cents for a breakout trade, nice. If you're looking for spot accumulation because you really just believe in what they're doing, I mean, these are, let's say, relatively cheap levels down here. If you loved it back here at 60 cents, why don't you love it now at 10 cents? Put that out there. Aster, not looking so super awesome right now. Trading well below 20-day EMA. This was the new paradigm money last a few weeks ago. My bag's down, but my bag, you know, I don't feel bad about my bag of this being down because I basically swapped another altcoin for it. So that altcoin's also down. So it doesn't really matter. It's kind of a wash, just down on one coin versus another. Anyway, this probably still has great narrative. Aster, Cake, BNB, all still doing relatively okay. I know Binance has taken some flack recently over everything that's happened, and some of it very well deserved considering their exchange had some of the absolute worst sell-offs. But anyway, Avantis, another one. We actually just did a report on this one for the newsletter as well. If you're not signed up to the newsletter, you're totally missing out. It's free and it's awesome. We also have a premium in a newsletter with reports and Discord and stuff like that too. You can get involved in. Anyway, Avantis, if you like perp dexes, if you like base, I mean, everybody loved it at $2.60. Nobody loves it at 50 cents. A tale as old as time. A tale as old as time. Anyway, I don't have a position in this one either. I could imagine it, this or stable. I think those are both interesting new altcoins that have come into the scene. I've kind of put my money on Ethena. I guess not kind of. I've literally put my money on Ethena as my stable coin play, but I could see stable being an interesting play as well. Put my money on Aster, but I could also see Avantis being an interesting stable, interesting perp dex play, right? So all depends on what you want to do. Newsletter, it's free. Go check it out. Link down below. Okay, so let's answer some questions. What do you guys want to talk about? Lark, what do you think of AKT? Is that a cash? Is that the cash token? I think we talked about that last week. Wasn't much going on there. I don't really know that much about it. I think it's like a GPU network dealio thing. I think it was. Let's have a look at the chart real quick. Refresh myself on what the heck is going on here. Oh, yeah, it's one of those ones. It's one of those. Yeah, I'll bring this up here. Brutal. It's a brutal chart, man. Not a lot to love about this chart. Just savage pain for a very, very long time. This thing had one uptrend from late 2022 into March 24. You can see here, just approximately. I'm going to draw it super close. You just see the general idea. Then the downtrend started. Okay, obviously the summer of 24 had a lot of rough moments in it, let's say, and since then we've essentially been in a gargantuan effing downtrend. So again, I'm just loosely drawing that here, not perfectly. So it spent a lot of time. It's a brutal chart, man. Most of its time since May 2024 has been spent under the 50-day EMA. Most of its time. There's been a few little breakout moments like in late 24 where it did a little bit of something but didn't go back to the highs of March, and we had, you know, some little breakout moments like in May when things pumped a little bit. It pumped a little bit, you know, but even recently, look, we had adequately bullish market conditions to some extent over the past few months, and it did fuck all. Not interested. There you go. We're gonna keep going. Did you see the whales on Binance buying boatloads of Chainlink this morning? I did not. I have not. That's interesting, though. Is this guy on something? I've been watching for a few months, and it's honestly not looking good. Water, man. It's right, India. Stuff, man. Water. Yeah. Arbitrum. There is no bull target for Arbitrum. Infinite down. Arbitrum, you know, God, it's gonna be one of the worst coins you could possibly consider owning. That's, you know, you guys just like punishing yourselves, don't you? I don't know. I'm not into the pain train that is Arbitrum. Look at this chart. Look at this chart. January 24 peak. Ever since then, it's been basically down only. Now, obviously, can it recover at some point? Yeah, sure. Why not? Obviously, it can have a run at some point, but gosh darn. There are so many coins that'd be better to trade in this market than fucking Arbitrum, man. Look, great layer 2 network. Good tech. I was having a conversation with somebody about the exact topic earlier in Telegram. I said, oh, man, you got to check this thing out. The tech's really good. And like, no. No, this is a token that's going to be worth down 90% in a few weeks as some new launch is coming up or whatever. And like, yeah, I'm sure the tech's great. A lot of coins have great tech. Arbitrum's great tech. The token sucks. The token just sucks, man. And that's pretty hard to argue that it doesn't. It captures absolutely zero value. It's a useless layer 2 governance token. The only real value of it is that the team and the VCs get to continuously dump it on everybody. That's where the money is made in this. Celestia. I think it's another story of, hey, great tech. Doing cool stuff, guys. Wildly bearish chart. Since February 24, it's literally done nothing. So it came out, had a wild run. I mean, look, had you bought that initial run, it was insane, okay? Absolutely crazy run. A lot of people made a lot of money. And then the reality comes in of just insane VC unlocks, insane inflation. You know, the crypto game is so fucked up sometimes. I think it was Paradigm. Was it Paradigm? They invested in this, right? And look, I'm not hating the player, okay? I'm hating the game, all right? This is the reality. Paradigm invested in Celestia, and they were up, I don't know, 10,000x or some bullshit like that on their seed round. Normally, when you get an investment like that, you're locked up and you can't stake. But what Celestia did is they let those guys with their gargantuan effing bags stake their coins. So Paradigm's already 10x their money out of this. And I don't know, maybe their unlocks have started now. I have not paid attention to that. I'm not keeping tabs on what the hell Celestia is doing when the unlocks are or anything like that. But these guys are up 10x already just from selling their staking rewards because they control such a giant part of the supply and they've been nonstop dumping. Here you go. There you go. This is it, man. Look at this. Non-effing stop downtrend for years on end. Brutal, absolutely brutal, disgusting chart of non-stop VC dumping. And again, fair play to them, man. Get the fucking money. I get it. But I don't want to buy that shit. Remember, there's supposed to be a bunch of airdrops. I think I bought like 100 Celestia or something for 20 bucks each. I was like, okay, they're going to do airdrops, man. Don't think we ever got any airdrops. We got like one airdrop, which was like $5. Continuing. 5-year cycle, 4-year cycle, 5-year cycle, 6-year cycle. What it really comes down to is the business cycle, which is far from the top. Okay. The ISM PMI is still under 50. Okay. When that gets to 60, 65, then we start talking about the top coming in. We talk about the global M2 or the credit cycle, all this kind of stuff, all these things, right? That's what really drives cycles. And a lot of this stuff has been so suppressed for such a long time, mainly due to everything that's going on during the Biden regime. Now we see things starting to recover, things starting to look better, but we still have a long way to go. I think top comes sometime well into 2026. Zora. Zora. Zora is a popular coin. That's the thing. You guys out here want to trade a cash and Arbitrum and shit like this. Go find coins that the market actually likes right now. Zora is a coin the market actually likes right now. Okay. Pay attention to strength. Look at this. Now it had its initial run up. Okay. Big pullback, run up again. Wild run, actually, from August. It went from 5 cents to 15 cents. Good 200% run up. Very strong downtrend. Okay. But beautiful downtrend. Very technically beautiful. Okay. Really, really beautiful downtrend. Look at that. Look at that. Very, very nice chart. Okay. Very solid channel to the downside. Now, early October, late September, big sell-off. Then what happens? We have an incredible breakout here on the 9th of October, which I think the next day was like the gigantic gargantuan crash. But still, it actually went up to 12 cents before dropping down to 5 cents and then getting back to 8 cents or whatever the next day. Now, it's in an uptrend currently. It started a new uptrend potentially. 20-day EMA or 50-day EMA retests are likely buying opportunities to try to ride the trend higher. Now, so far, it's been moving mostly sideways, okay? Since that big move. There's been a lot of weakness in the altcoin markets, so that's definitely something to consider. We could have a bearish crossover coming for this in the next 4 or 5 days. You can see down here on the RSI as well. Starting to lose a bit of that momentum too. Never actually got to overbought levels, mainly because the market basically cucked everybody at the same time. But the market has liked Zora. If you like the base network, there's probably a few interesting bets to bet on to get exposure as an investor to the base network. So that's going to be Aerodrome, Virtuals, Zora, and probably Avantis. Check the link chart. Oh, wow. Link chart's actually looking pretty interesting. It's actually looking pretty good. Look at this. Now we have, of course, we had a giant breakdown here. Giant breakdown here on Link, like everything else on the 10th of October, right? So 15. Interestingly, about a technical breakdown of $15, surprisingly, because a lot of coins basically went to zero on that day. Anyway, coming back up to the major area, the 20-day EMA, about $20 right now. You need to get the price of Link at $20. That could start an uptrend for us. So some of the big major coins, again, they're looking more like this. RSI has already crossed over. Show momentum is changing up here, okay? We see the MACD potentially flipping over here the next couple days here as well, okay? So, yeah, interesting. Interesting. No, hey, I'm just confused. I hit the ETH call you did, but besides that, it's been rough. Look, Grandpa, Gannate, YT, I get it, ma'am. I get it. You know, it's been a very tough market to trade this year. There's been a few momentum plays that if you hop on those, great, make some money quick. And that's been basically it. There's been very little strength in altcoins. Every sort of rally is getting faded and sold off. And then we have shit like happened 10 days ago where we had this ungodly crash in the market and anything just gets thrown out the window at that point. And anybody's like, oh, I saw that crash coming. No, you fucking did. You did not see a fucking black swan event coming. Nobody saw that. It's been rough, man. I get it. I get it. You know, some of the trades that you take that in theory should have, let's say, yeah, look at like poker, right? There's statistical odds of certain plays working out, right? So you have a 60% chance of that trade working out, but then this kind of bullshit happens. And well, who the hell's who can predict that stuff, right? It's all a game of odds, man. Why not stream on Zora? And do you stream on Zora? Didn't even realize that. What do you do on the weekends in Dubai? Hang out with the family, man. Go to the beach, go to the ocean, go to the pool, go to kids' play centers, the mall, stuff like that. Go to the parks. Temperature's starting to cool down now, so we start going to the parks again. Lark, 2026 bear market probably. Boo, boo, no 2026 bear market, boo. We'll see, obviously. Like I said on Friday's stream, you know, a lot of the prices got to very critical levels in the weeklies in particular, which we have bounced off currently, but we need to see some more strength come back into the market. You know, people get so concerned about perfectly catching the bottom on stuff, and you can just wait till the market shows some strength and then trade those plays. You don't have to catch the exact Pico bottom or sell the exact Pico top. Try to catch the meat of the move. Try to catch a piece of the meat of the move. It's usually enough. Look, is 2026 going to be a bear market? It's not my base case by any means right now. I could be wrong horrifically. You guys know how that goes. If we get a massive blow off top in the next 3 or 4 months, then yeah, I could see a 2026 bear market forming up for sure. If we get a slow grind up with the ISM PMI flipping over and starting to slowly grind up and all that kind of stuff, then markets get a lot sillier for a lot longer than people realize, because more than anything, what tends to be topping moments in markets is when like business cycle gets to the top, which we haven't even really started into a massive expansion yet. Don't know. Fetch AI certainly looks like it's dying. Sadly, is one of my earlier first mistakes. Bought $1,000 at 20 cents. In March, I saw it at $20,000. I took a screenshot and later panic sold. Damn. Well, how bad did it go down? You must have made some money off that. Must have made, even if you panic sold, if it would dropped 50%, you still should have made some money off. Anyway, yeah, continue. Let's catch up in the chat. We're a few minutes behind in the chat here. What's temperature this time of year in Dubai? It's pretty nice. Most days are like 33, 34 at the peak. Mornings are really nice. Evenings are really nice right now. So it's back to normal temperatures. The humidity's dropped off quite a bit. The problem in the summer is, yeah, okay, it's like 35 to 40 every day, which is hot. But the humidity spikes massively because the Persian Gulf's like right out my back door, right? And shallow sea, man. A lot of humidity comes off that thing. I wonder if Jerome Powell gets swapped out around the business cycle top next year. So interest rates can be cut a lot of the time, creating 2026 blow off top. So Jerome Powell's out in May. Whoever Trump replaces him with is going to be Trump's puppet, and they're going to get interest rates super effing low. And yeah, it'll eventually cause a massive inflationary bubble and everything's going to be fucked up. But that's for later us to worry about. SUI chart. Yeah, let's have a quick look at the SUI chart. Why not, by the way? Sorry, I forgot to take a chart request here. We'll just look at the SUI chart and then we'll move on to the next one here. SUI, not a lot going on. Looks like most coins right now. Again, get back over the 20-day EMA, then we can talk. You see some momentum indicators heading in the right direction. No confirmation yet in the MACD. RSI has not broken out yet either. Let's see. Okay. Let's see how we go. That's around 290 right now. Not much to report there. Looks like quite a few of the altcoin charts we've looked at, most of them are basically trading the same. There's very few outliers like Zcash, for example. I sold it at $1.20. I did make money. March 24 is brutal for me. Yeah, J-Man, I know. Look, here's the thing. If you had that life-changing money on the table and you now have the extreme lesson of regret, you could have had the life-changing money and walked away and been living your life happily. Now watching YouTube videos with weird dudes on the internet. The good news is you now have learned an incredibly valuable lesson. So next time this opportunity comes, and let me tell you guys, crypto is one of the most crazy asymmetric markets out there. Look, I love stocks. I'm a big stock investor, big stock fan. Going to keep adding money to stocks. Crypto is wildly volatile. None of us really like the downside volatility, but it's part of the price that we pay for the massive upside volatility when it comes. And if you've had the lesson of taking screenshots, not life-changing money, you know, talk to your wife. Talk to your wife and just go tell her, hey, look, next time I'm bragging about how much fucking money I've made, slap me and tell me to take some damn profits. You know, it's a tough lesson to learn, and the greed gets to you 100%. I remember back in 2017, they had put like, I don't know, $500 into Icon or something, which you guys now you know what that is. Around 2017 is the Ethereum of Korea, man. And I was up like $10,000 on it. And I was seeing as we were visiting my dad in America, we were riding around on his tractor, and I was like, Dad, I made like $10,000 on this crypto coin. And he's like, hell, so you sold it and it's in your bank account? I go, no. He said, then you ain't made shit. Old farmer wisdom, man. Old farmer wisdom. Dad's a smart guy like that. Never seen crypto so dead as now. No, look, that crash 10 days ago fucked a lot of people up, man. Even if you didn't lose a bunch of money that day, psychologically watching coins go to like literal zero in a matter of seconds, no, not good. Not good, man. Tell me something good, Lark. Sui's my daily DCA. Sui probably does pretty okay. I think it's still got enough mind share and stuff going on. They got the momentum decks coming, so that might be a nice injection of excitement into that ecosystem. Elon just tweeted about Floki, says Alpha Cry, Floki breaking out now. The Elon effect is not what it once was. I think people are kind of over Elon tweeting about stuff. This is not 2021, and there's not the retail mania to support such things. But if that's true, I have not looked at the Elon tweet. But yeah, it went. It's not like he tweeted out, "Go buy Floki Inu tokens." 35%. I guess he's talking about his dog or something. Anyway, up 35%. It's fine. Came up to the 50-day EMA, got rejected. Came up to this trend line, got rejected. Okay. Rock and roll. Oh my gosh, we have streams just keep getting longer and longer. Oh my gosh, the hat. The hat. PB Stack. I forgot the hat today. No. No. It's kind of my hair is gonna fall out now. Fuck. How could I forget the hat, guys? Oh my god. Injective. Why don't we pull up the Injective chart, man? You know, Injective made a lot of money on that one back in the day. Back when you could actually invest in pre-sales and not just get absolutely screwed over. But anyway, besides the point, made a lot of money on Injective back in the day. Staked it, made staking rewards were great, man. But I sold this one in order to bail out my it's back in August of 2024. Injective, one of the ones that went on the chopping block in order to bail out my Bitcoin and Ethereum loans that I had borrowed cash against Bitcoin and Ethereum, and the liquidation points were uncomfortably close. So I had to panic sell some altcoins to make sure that it did not get liquidated for much larger amounts, which were way more painful than selling some altcoin bags that were in profits, and a couple of them that were not in profits. So it was kind of a wash that day. But anyway, besides the point, let's look at the chart. Injective, honestly, we looked at this chart recently, and nothing's changed opinion-wise for me. It topped out in March 24. And I think it had an incredible run, obviously, from the market lows. I mean, the thing was at $1.30 in late 2022. And then by a year later, I mean, the thing had gone up 50 fucking X. And look, maybe it runs hard again. I'm not discounting that. The chart's been basically down only since then, unfortunately. It's been a pretty brutal chart here to look at. But like so many altcoins, look, Injective is doing interesting stuff. I like those guys. They're cool. You know, hats off. Good tech, right? Problem is, it doesn't have very much mind share in the market right now. I go to my timeline. I very rarely see people talking about Injective. At the end of the day, Injective is just kind of yet another layer one blockchain. You know, what is the grand differentiating factor? The thing that really, okay, if you want your blockchain to be winning blockchain, what do you need? You need shit tons of users and all that stuff. No, they got users and all that stuff, but just the spark currently is not there. It may turn around and it may go absolutely bonkers crazy, but I'm not loving the way that multi-year downtrend looks right now. Bought huge bags of Caspa. Yep. It's tough, man. Caspa, I know a lot of people are super bullish on that, but it's one of those ones that's kind of a slow bleed. Had its sort of really big moment about a year and a half ago or whatever. Everybody got super excited about it, and that was kind of it. The early people who got in sold all their bags to people who were buying into the hype, and it's kind of been down only since there, unfortunately. Keep the stream going. Wear the hat. You're legally obligated to release 30 minutes of the hat. All right, guys, we're gonna bail out for today. It's awesome. We're gonna put the hat on tomorrow. Okay. You guys rock. I'll see you back tomorrow. Peace.